Just Quran now. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولا لآبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا صدق الله العلي العظيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. إلهي لا تؤدبني بعقوبتك ولا تمكر بي في حيلتك. من أين لي الخير يا رب ولا يوجد إلا من عندك. ومن أين لي النجاة ولا تستطاع إلا بك. للذي أحسن استغنى عن عونك ورحمتك وللذي أساء واجترأ عليك ولم يرضك خرج عن قدرتك. يا ربي 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 يا رب. بك عرفتك أنت دللتني عليك ودعوتني إليك، ولولا أنت لم أدر ما أنت. الحمد لله الذي أدعوه فيجيبني وإن كنت بطيئا حين يدعوني. والحمد لله الذي أسأله فيعطيني وإن كنت بخيلا حين يستقرضني. والحمد لله الذي أناديه كلما شئت لحاجتي وأخلو به حيث شئت لسري بغير شفيع فيقضي لي حاجتي. والحمد لله الذي أدعوه ولا أدعو غيره، ولو دعوت غيره لم يستجب لي دعائي. والحمد لله الذي أرجوه ولا أرجو غيره، ولو رجوت غيره لأخلف رجائي. والحمد لله الذي وكلني إليه فأكرمني ولم يكلني إلى الناس فيهينوني. والحمد لله الذي تحبب إلي وهو غني عني. والحمد لله الذي يحلم عني حتى كأني لا ذنب لي. فربي أحمد شيء عندي وأحق بحمدي. اللهم إني أجد سبل المطالب إليك مشرعا ومناهل الرجاء إليك مترعا، والاستعانة بفضلك لمن أملك مباحا، وأبواب الدعاء إليك للصارخين مفتوحا. واعلموا أنك للراجين بموضع إجابة وللملهوفين بمرصد إغاثة، وأن في اللهف إلى جودك والرضا بقضائك عوضا من منع باخلين، ومندوحة عما في أيدي المستأثرين، وأن الراحل إليك قريب المسافة، وأنك لا تحتجب عن خلقك إلا أن تحجبهم الأعمال السيئة دونك. وقد قصدت إليك بطلبتي وتوجهت إليك بحاجتي وجعلت بك استغاثتي وبدعائك توسلي من غير استحقاق لاستماعك مني ولا استجاب لعفوك عني، بل لثقتي بكرمك وسكوني إلى صدق وعدك ولجائي إلى الإيمان بتوحيدك ويقيني بمعرفتك مني أن لا رب لي غيرك ولا إله لي إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك. اللهم أنت القائل وقولك حق ووعدك صدق، واسأل الله من فضله إنه كان بكم رحيما. وليس من صفاتك يا سيدي أن تأمر بالسؤال وتمنع العطية، وأنت المنان بالعطايا على أهل مملكتك والعائد عليهم بتحنن رأفتك. إلهي ربيتني في نعمك وإحسانك صغيرا، ونوهت باسمي كبيرا، فيا من رباني في الدنيا بإحسانه وتفضله ونعمه، وأشار لي في الآخرة إلى عفوه وكرمه. معرفتي يا مولاي دلتني عليك، وحبي لك شفيعي إليك، وأنا واثق من دليلي بدلالتك، وساكن من شفيعي لا شفاعتك. أدعوك يا سيدي بلسان قد أخبثه ذنبه، ربي أناجيك بقلب قد أوبقه جرمه. أدعوك يا ربي راهبا راغبا راجيا خائفا، إذا رأيت مولاي ذنوبي فزعت، وإذا رأيت كرمك طمعت. فإن عفوت فخير راحم، وإن عذبت فغير ظالم. حجتي يا الله في جرأتي على مسألتي، مع إتياني ما تكره جودك وكرمك، وعدتي في شدتي مع قلتي حيائي رأفتك ورحمتك. وقد رجوت ألا تخيب بين ذيني وذيني منيتي، فصل على محمد وآل محمد وحقق رجائي، واسمع دعائي يا خير من دعاه داع، وأفضل من رجاه راج. عظم يا سيدي أملي وساء عملي، فاعطني من عفوك بمقدار أملي، ولا تؤاخذني بسوء عملي، فإن كرمك يجل عن مجازاة المذنبين، وحلمك يكبر عن مكافاة المقصرين، وأنا يا سيدي عائذ بفضلك هارب منك إليك متنجز ما وعدت من الصفح عمن أحسن بك ظنا وما أنا يا ربي وما خطري هبني بفضلك وتصدق علي بعفوك أي ربي جللني بسترك واعف عن توبيخي بكرم وجهك فلو اطلع اليوم على ذنب غيرك ما فعلت ولو خفت تعجيل العقوبة لاجتنبت لا لأنك أهون الناظرين إلي وأخف المطلعين علي بل لأنك يا ربي خير الساترين وأحلم الأحلمين وأكرم الأكرمين ستار العيوب غفار الذنوب علام الغيوب تستر الذنب بكرمك وتؤخر العقوبة بحلمك فلك الحمد على حلمك بعد علمك وعلى عفوك بعد قدرتك ويحملني ويجرئني على معصيتك حلمك عني ويدعوني إلى قلة الحياء سترك عليه ويسرعني إلى التوثب على محارمك معرفتي بسعة رحمتك وعظيم عفوك يا حليم يا كريم يا حي يا قيوم يا غافر الذنب ويا قابل التوب يا عظيم المن يا موصوفا بالإحسان أين سترك الجميل أين عفوك الجليل أين فرجك القريب أين غياثك السريع أين رحمتك الواسعة أين عطاياك الفاضلة أين مواهبك الهنيئة أين صنائعك السنية أين فضلك العظيم أين منك الجسيم أين إحسانك القديم أين كرمك يا كريم به وبمحمد وآل محمد عليهم السلام فاستنقذني وبرحمتك فخلصني يا محسن يا مجمل يا منعم يا مفضل لسنا نتكل في النجاة من عقابك على أعمالنا بل بفضلك علينا لأنك أهل التقوى وأهل المغفرة تبدئ بالإحسان نعما وتعفو عن الذنب كرما فما ندري ما نشكر أجميل ما تنشر أم قبيح ما تستور أم عظيم ما أبليت وأوليت أو كثير ما منه نجيت وعافيت. يا حبيب من تحبب إليك، ويا قرة عيني من لاذ بك وانقطع إليك. أنت المحسن ونحن المسيئون، فتجاوز يا ربي عن قبيح ما عندنا بجميل ما عندك يا كريم، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Again, can we start by just asking you to please move forward and just fill up the spaces, please? So today we have with us our dynamic duo, Sajjad and Siddika Najafi, and they will be presenting on the topic spirituality before Islam in the Quran. Please welcome them with a salawat.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is supposed to be an interactive discussion, so we're not going to be talking at you. So please come forward so I can interact. Siddika tells me my voice is quiet, so I need you to come forward so I can also hear you. Don't be shy. She doesn't bite. Okay, can you guys hear me? I can't hear you. See, I told you to come forward. We'll start with something a little bit different, and I'll ask you if you're willing to share something you're grateful for today. And if you like, I can start by saying I'm grateful that I'm here with you all. It's a blessing in this blessed month. So blessings upon blessings with each one of you. And to be able to speak with you, being healthy, fit, of sound mind. She might not agree, of sound mind. And just being grateful for being here. So that's me. Did you want to share something? Oh, yes, always grateful for her. That's a given. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here with her. Anybody want to share? Water, yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Housing, yeah, shelter. So many of us have probably driven here past people who didn't have somewhere to stay, yeah, without shelter. So, yeah, housing. Thank you. Sorry? Yeah, absolutely. Being able to see. We take all these things for granted, don't we?
Yes, Sana.
For your Quran teacher. Oh, did she pay you for that? I'll have to give her a fiver later. Any more? Yes?
I'm grateful for two things. First, for the vegetable curry and no meat today.
Alhamdulillah. Absolutely.
And the second thing is for the Chico's family that you have here.
Okay, vegetable curry and T4C family. Very, very, very good. Like it. Yeah, and grateful that we could have something to break our fast with and not worry about what we're going to eat. Yeah, somebody cooked it for us. Yeah, for your parents, fantastic. We should all be.
It's just the kids saying what they're grateful for. I think the adults.
They're amazing. They'll see why we're doing this later, but fine. Okay. Oh, sorry, Asma, go on. MashaAllah. Thank you. Where's Amira? Is she here? Okay. She deserves it. I wish I was asleep now. Anyone else? Oh, sorry. Good friends. Yeah, absolutely. The ability to fast. Yeah, the health to be able to be fast and not have anything that's preventing us. Friends is really important too. You know that they're. Somebody said friends are like our wings. They'll guide us to where we need to get to. Sorry? Yeah, the family you choose. Yeah, absolutely. In the right religion. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Anyone else? Education, yeah, fantastic.
They're coming out with amazing answers. I think it's making so much sense that they're addressing all the important things: the water, the shelter, the education, the health, all of that. So, at that age, to be able to think of all of that, well done.
So thank you for sharing all those things. I'm just going to flick over to the next slide, and I'd like you to tell me why the technology doesn't work. So I'd like you to come to this discussion with curiosity, a bit like Dora the Explorer. You might know stuff about spirituality. You might know stuff about the Quran. So if you know stuff about the Quran, I'm going to ask you to help me out because I don't know much. So I'll need your help. But whatever you know about a certain topic, just play along with us. Come at it with some curiosity, and hopefully we'll get to learn something different. Because when we approach a topic by saying, I know it, then we're already saying, well, I don't need to know anymore. But if I come to it exploring, like exploring a tree, yeah, if I've just given it a name, there's a tree outside, then it's a tree I'm not interested in anymore. But if I approach it with curiosity, I want to see, what is this thing? You know, how does it work? And recently I was driving past and you could see they had paved the way for some roads, and you could see the roots of the trees going deep into the ground, stuff you don't ever see normally. Yeah, and it's amazing to see how far those roots went. But it's just be curious, okay? You'll have to hold the mic, and I'll have to do this. What is spirituality? I don't know. So again, I'm going to ask you guys to tell me a little bit before we try and work out what it is together. So I don't know the answer. Does anybody want to help me? What is spirituality? Oh, actually, the question is, what do you understand of spirituality? What does it mean to you? About consciousness. Okay. Okay.
You know how at school we always have the same kid raising the hand?
It's clever
I think it's
kids.
these two.
The clever kids.
It's these few kids in this class here. They're raising their hands up. We need different hands.
Yeah, top marks for you guys. Sorry, Sarah, I think you had your hand up. Our connection with God. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Devotion. Okay. Can you elaborate on that? So if I'm devoted to my wife, am I spiritual? Okay. Okay.
Discipline and all of that. Is that what you? Yeah.
Okay. So you have to be committed to something, yeah? Okay. Connect with your inner self. What do you mean by that? Mm-hmm. Yourself. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. I think you guys have covered most of it, so I think we can go and sit down now. Any more? No? Just going to bring up my prompt so I can remember what I was supposed to do. This is my favorite. So what amal, what ritual, has anybody got this formula for spirituality? Because I'm looking for it and I haven't found it yet. Does somebody have the magic pill? Does anybody know what the formula is? John? Sorry? Okay, so I have to find what works for me. So you're saying there is no magic pill. Is that what you're telling me? Okay, okay. Salah, okay. So if I perform more salah, I'll be more spiritual? Then I can be spiritual. Okay, okay, thank you. Submission to Allah, okay. Okay. Connecting to nature, okay. So what do you mean by that? Do I need to like go outside bare feet on the grass or connect physically or something else? Okay, okay. So we did have somebody do that and say, oh, you should connect with nature, literally take your shoes off, stand on the grass and feel the grass on your feet. Yeah? Connecting with Allah's creations. Okay, so is this counted? We're connecting with Allah's creation? Okay, okay. Okay, okay, thank you. Anyone else? No? Oh, you can't say that. I've been doing it all my life. No. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Can't say that you.
have the same impact on everyone, so they should feel like they have to do a specific thing, which is why I think they're like, oh, I think there are like suggestions that everyone is like as a whole.
I think you guys have been on a spirituality course, haven't you? You can see it. Muhammad, okay. Go on, yes, yes, please do.
And because it's such a long dua, you have to be sort of, what's the word? Ready for it. It's 3 hours or whatever it is. You find the longest, the fastest reciter, take it off and get it done. But that's what it is. You sit there after 3 hours, you might feel exhausted, but you feel the sheet on you just because you sat there for 3 hours and you're not just tired. Whereas today, spending a little bit of time in a slower, at a slower pace, taking in the meaning and having a chance to sort of reflect, I think that's the more for our spiritual life of myself than the other ones.
So quality over quantity. Yeah? Okay, yeah, I get that. And I think that's what you were saying about rituals, that we're doing it as a exercise. I must do this. So I must fast, I must pray, I must everything. And if I'm just doing it as a ritual, and often I'm distracted and while I'm praying, then it's not going to give me the benefits because I'm not actually present doing it. Yeah, I'm just ticking off the boxes to say, I've done it. Okay, thank you. Did anybody else want to share? I was looking for somebody to give me the right ritual and then, self-reflection. Okay, thank you. Meditation. Okay, even in more interesting. We should have a meditation session. So, to help us prepare our talk, can anybody think of examples in the Quran of spirituality? Sorry. Any examples of spirituality in the Quran? I need some material, guys, so help me out here. None. Ooh.
Maybe Prophet Yusuf when he was thrown into jail and was left himself and that trust and that he hadn't got that, who would be there for him. Or
Okay.
refused in the very situation.
Okay. Yeah. So you quoted two prophets. Sorry, when the prophet. Okay. Yeah. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had to go to the cave. Yeah. Zainab at the back, I think. Yeah, you're quoting the ayah of the Quran, right? That by the mention of Allah, the hearts are satisfied. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Giving gratitude. Okay. Thank you. So being grateful, like we were doing earlier. So that was spiritual for some people. Any more? Oh, you guys haven't given me enough material here. So I've taken the example of Surah Al-Kahf because it's Friday today and we're supposed to recite it every Friday. And there's a good story in there as well. Now, hopefully, all of you know the story of Ashab al-Kahf, or the people of the cave. So I'm not going to tell you the story. Just everybody know the story. Just raise your hands if you know the story from the Quran. Because there's a Christian version and there's the Quranic version. Oh, okay. So it seems like it's 50-50. One of the things, I don't really want to go into the story, but I'll try and give you a very quick overview. And the reason I picked this was I wanted to pick something from the Quran which didn't relate to the prophets, because we would always say, oh, but he's a prophet. Yeah? He's chosen, he's special. There's something about him that's extraordinary. I can't attain that, yeah? So he's out of my reach. Even though they're not, they're still human like us and had the same limitations as us. Yeah? They just excelled at what they did. So Just want to make sure that I'm on the right track. Were the youth of the cave infallible? Does anybody think they were infallible? No? Good, good, okay. That's good, making sure. So, everybody got their coloring pens and Qurans and pencils? No, that was for the kids section, sorry. Okay, I'll have to bring it up, but can I use the internet on this Sheikh, on the laptop? Can I switch to the browser and... Okay, just hold on, please. Has anybody got a Quran with them? Oh, you can just read it out for me because my hands are full, so I can't do it. So they were looking for safety in a cave, and they said, Our Lord? Okay, so asking Allah for mercy and provide us with the right cause. Now, I need somebody who knows a little bit of Arabic, because the Arabic, I think, says something like hayyi lana min amrina rashada. Yeah? So can anybody help me just translate what hayyi lana means? Because it doesn't say show me. It means something else. Sheikh Taj, I'm looking towards you, but there's somebody there, yes? Prepare for us, okay? To guide us, okay? But what does hayyi lana mean? Prepare, okay? Sheikh, okay? I've heard a translation from Noman Ali Khan that says hayyi lana means that it almost to mold something, to prepare it, yeah? So like you have putty. So now their situation is, and again, I'll quickly give you the story. There's some youth at the time before the Prophet, I think 500 years, don't quote me on the timelines, but it's before the final messenger came, so formal Islam wasn't there, which is why I said before Islam. And in their town, the Romans had come, and they had to submit to the Roman gods. Sheikh, please correct me if I'm off, or anybody else, just correct me if I'm off track with the history here. I was hoping you guys would give me all the answers, and then I would just replay it back to you. So the Romans came and said, you have to worship our gods, and we have all these Zeus and all these different gods for different functions. So you have to give up your God, which was the one God for Christians at the time, and accept our gods. So the elders of the community said, I think we'll do this for the weekend, or whenever this dignitary is visiting our town, we'll accept what they're saying, and once they've gone, we'll just go back to our practices of our own faith. So they all had to, in some formal way, give allegiance to the Roman gods. And these young people, so they were youth, young men, objected and said, well, we're not going to. There is only one God, yeah, the one who created the heavens and the earth. And how are you all, now they're talking to their own people and saying, how are you all accepting these gods that these people have brought without any evidence? Yeah, what is the evidence for your acceptance of their belief? And for that, either they were arrested, put in prison, or they escaped. There was something where they got attention, yeah, from the authorities. They're going to get arrested, or they got arrested and they escaped, and now they're looking for refuge. So Shahid read for us that they were looking for refuge, and they said, oh Allah, give us safety somewhere. But before they asked for safety, they asked for mercy. And I was saying to Siddika on the way here, actually, that in the Quran, Allah says so much in just one ayah of the Quran. There's so much to unpack if we think about it. We're amazed at the eloquence of Imam Ali and Nahj al-Balagha, and wow, this is the maker of Imam Ali. So the more you think about it in different layers, it'll unpack more and more things for you. In a different ayah, and Shahid, maybe you can help me. Ayah number 12, I think it is. Anybody else? Allah explains why He granted them what He granted them, because we can say that we said they were not extraordinary, they were not infallible, but the outcome that they had was extraordinary. Would we agree? Yeah? They went to sleep for a long time. Yeah? I wish I was there. And then woke up again to see and witness what has happened to them. So, Shahid, just help me out again. Yeah, I think it's 12.
Then we raised them up, that we might know which of the two parties was best able to compute the time for which they remained.
Okay, so that's not the one I was looking for. Try 14.
And we strengthened their hearts with patience, when they stood up and said, Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. We will by no means call upon any God besides him, for then indeed we should have said an extravagant thing.
So this is where they stood up against the authority, if you like. Yeah? So you can imagine us going in front of, I don't know, the king or somebody like that, yeah, of supreme authority and say, okay, now accept our ways. And they'll say, no, we won't. And Allah strengthened their heart because they believed in Him. That's it. So we talked about practices, things. All they had was faith in Allah. Yeah? And Allah says, that's all they did. I strengthened their heart to have the courage to speak up against a tyrant. Yeah? Their life is at risk. How many of us would say, no, I'm going to stand up for my belief even when my life is in danger? Yeah? It's a tough one, right? And we all like to think that we would stand up and speak for the truth and say, this is my belief, I'm not going to change this. Yeah? But because of that faith and that sincerity in faith, Allah strengthened their heart. Enough so that they were able to stand up against the tyrant. Now they escape and they're asking Allah for guidance. But before that, they said, show us some mercy. They didn't say, as I pray, oh Allah, give me a car, give me a better job, give me this, give me that. I want things. They didn't ask for things. If you look at all the prayers of prophets, they asked, even Prophet Musa, when he escaped Egypt, yeah, what was his prayer? He said, Rabbi lima anzaltu ilayya min khairin faqir. Oh my Lord, I am needy of your mercy, yeah, from the goodness of your mercy. So all they're saying is, Allah, I'm in your hands. Find me a way, yeah. So now these X number of people, however many they are, it's not important. They end up in this cave, okay, and slept or went to sleep, yeah? Or I think the authorities found them and tracked them down to this cave. They found them, they were asleep, and he said, okay, let's trap them inside so that they can't escape, and they'll just die of hunger and thirst or whatever. Anyway, years passed, 300 years, or 309, and they woke up again. And what Shahid read was ayah number 12, they start to ask each other, how long have we been asleep, So, oh, not long, maybe a day, part of a day, maybe because the sun's still out when we escaped or we got here, the sun was out and it's still out, so it looks like it's still the same day. And one guy says, oh, don't worry about how long we've been here, I'm hungry, yeah? Look, could you take some money and go get some food? And he says, go and find the purest of the food and bring some from it. So me, when I was young, I still am greedy. I want to eat as much as I can, right? So they're not saying, go and bring loads of food. We need to have a party or a feast. They had to be careful. Obviously, they're being pursued. They're outlaws. So they had to be careful to go and get the food, but they're still careful about what they eat. Yeah, especially the youth. They're the ones who are eating the junk food. Yeah, you realize when you're much older, oh, I need to eat healthier and be fitter and all this. But these guys are youth, and they're saying, listen, go get the purest of the food and bring some from it, and be careful you don't get spotted. So one guy goes out, yeah, 300 years later, imagine somebody from 300 years ago coming out in the public. He's going to look dressed differently. He's going to be looking differently. And then when he pulls out the cash, it's going to be a little bit outdated. Yeah. So again, people spotted him and said, where are you from? He was like, I'm from around here. What's wrong? It was like, you look a bit different and your money's a bit old. And they found out that these guys were in here. Yeah. Now, I don't know exactly what happened when they went back and when they went back to sleep, when people followed them. But there's something in the Quran about people wanting to make a masjid or a way to celebrate these guys. And Allah sort of made it a secret where they were. Is that so far so good, Sheikh? Cool, thank you. So that's the story for those of you who didn't know it. But for me, what was interesting was actually, what would you say they did to deserve that special, extraordinary outcome that ended up becoming eternalized in the Quran forever? And you couldn't see anything, right? They just believed in God. They asked for good food or pure food. That's it. Like, there's nothing else. Is there something else that anybody else knows of that I've missed? Was there anything more special about them? They had a dog. I was thinking about that. Do I need to get a dog? Yeah, that's why I think I could get a dog, because Ashab Kahf had one. So we covered why Allah strengthened their heart. And we wanted to just now bring it back to where we are. Ramadan, fasting, and all of this. And what's this all about? So, can anybody tell me what the purpose of Ramadan is according to the Quran? Everybody knows this. But who's going to be brave enough to tell me? What is the purpose of Ramadan in the Quran? Yeah, you can't give me the answer. Hold on. Sorry? Taqwa. Where did you get that from? So there's لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ lots of places in the Quran. So you have to be a bit more specific. كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامِ. Thank you. So fasting has been prescribed for you as it was for those before you, so that you may become more God conscious, mindful, whatever you want to call it, taqwa. Have more taqwa. And I think I heard somewhere else the description of taqwa was that you have to protect yourself. It's like you have to have a shield to protect yourself from everything bad. Yeah, so you're constantly guarding yourself. Okay? So the purpose of the month of Ramadan is taqwa, but I'm fasting. So why am I going on a hunger strike? Because some people get really agitated when they're hungry. Some people get really sleepy like me. So why do I need to do all of that? It's about having taqwa. But also in the Quran it says that the month of Ramadan is the month when the Quran was revealed. Yeah? So the whole month of Ramadan is about the Quran. Well, that's how I've understood it anyway. So the climax is towards the end of Ramadan, 21st, 23rd, odd nights, and the Quran is being revealed, and we have to be prepared for that night. Yeah? So what's all this fasting about? Yeah, even I don't know. But Siddika might have some insights.
I have only a life answer. About a month ago, Assalamu alaikum everyone, first of all. I've been standing here as a bystander, so my story is very small, and I hope it makes sense to you all. It didn't to me initially. About a month ago, Sajjad came to me and said to me, I would like to go on a retreat. And I said, what kind of retreat is this? He said, well, it's a well-being retreat. I said, look, I do everything. Yeah, I meditate, I eat well, I exercise. I am by the book. I don't think I need to go on this retreat. I think I'm perfectly fine. And I think it was almost like, I wouldn't say begging, is like, please come with me. Can we please go? I would like for you to come with me. And I remember talking to a couple of friends, and I kept an open mind after that, thinking, okay, I cannot shoot this down. I have to see, because I think, as he said, when you say you know it all, that means what? For me, this is what I've understood, that when I say that I know it all, to me, that is death. Death is when you die and you don't need to know anything anymore. You're dead. So I said, okay, fine, I'll go with to this with an open mind. And obviously, the people that were organizing the retreat sent us an email saying that on the day that you arrive, make sure that you have not had your caffeine, no coffees allowed. And I thought, what? So any of you that know me know that I hang around in coffee shops. You'll see me in Mosley Village in coffee shops. So I thought, are you kidding me? You're asking me to kill myself? So no coffees, come without having any solid foods on the day. So we had to leave like at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I am not leaving without having my coffee today. So if it means they're going to starve us for the next 2 days, I know I've filled up my tank of caffeine before going there, but I am going to have my coffee. So I think Sajjad conceded, and we went, bought a coffee, and obviously not knowing what's coming, by the way. So I said, look, even in terms of fasting, I'm going to have my lunch before we go. Again, I'm going to fill up my tank. So if they're going to starve us, that's fine. That's okay. At least I know for the day I'll be okay. Yeah. And bought some sandwiches. So I proper replenished myself with everything. Went there, got there. It was about 2.5, 3 hours drive. 3.5. Sorry, 3.5 hours drive. And it was by a beautiful place where the sea, you could hear the seagulls, beautiful. You wouldn't think this place existed in England, by the way. That's how beautiful it was. Anyway, we got there. They gave us some fresh juices. And I thought, okay, that's good. And they said, your fasting, your liquid fast starts now for 2 days. So obviously, so every few hours, they had a chef there who would provide us with either smoothies or fresh juices, but no solids, nothing, no solids at all. So as the day progressed, I remember it was a Thursday, we went to bed, we slept well. Next day morning, woke up and they said 7:30, everyone up. That's fine. No coffee, obviously no caffeine. So fine. Juices first thing in the morning, sat down to do some exercises, and I started feeling really sleepy because obviously there's no caffeine. And I said, look, I'm sorry, I cannot concentrate on what you're saying. So I'm feeling really sleepy because I haven't had my coffee. So they immediately stood us all up and made us jump around, literally. They said, you've got to build the energy in the room. I said,
The
okay.
moral of the story is you don't need coffee to get energy, all right?
I still disagree with that, but okay. So anyway, finished that. 2 days, no solid foods. For those of us who were desperate to choose something, they kept some nuts out, maybe a couple of fruits out. I was one of those. Imagine, I fast in the month of Ramadan, and I'm amongst these non-Muslims, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have some nuts. I can't do without this. The purpose of that, however, when the days progressed, what I realized is I didn't feel hungry. There was no hunger. I was not switched off either. So, we think that when we're hungry, we're switched off. I cannot concentrate. Surprisingly, I could. And it was an amazing, amazing experience. What they were actually preparing us for 2 days later was that we were going to do this intense, intense breath work, like an hour of breath work. And that breath work was what I have realized recently is that none of us actually breathe from our abdomen. We all breathe from here. And that actually creates a lot of issues, health issues, mental health issues too. Because when you're anxious, the first thing that a doctor would even tell you if you're going through a panic attack is that take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. And this is what we don't do. We don't breathe from here, we breathe from here. So coming back to the holy month of Ramadan, and as Sajjad said, that when we are hungry, and you know, Allah says in the Holy Quran, "Ud'uni astajib lakum." We've been told since we were kids that when you're breaking your fast, and whatever you ask for, you will get. And that is something that I have realized over time, that when I am cleansed, it's a cleansing ritual that's actually happening. What the people at the retreat made us do was to cleanse our systems before we actually got to that spiritual aspect or side of things, i.e., the deep breaths. That's what they did for us. Now, if I were to compare that to the holy month of Ramadan, is it exactly what's happening? Allah is preparing me for 3 weeks before the climax, the last 10 days. And in those last 10 days, we keep banging on about you ask for whatever, you will get it. Of course, if I ask for whatever, I'll get it. I've been cleansed. The last 10 days, whatever I will ask for, I will get it because my system has been cleansed of a lot of things. Now, this also comes down to how we do iftar. A lot of us are very greedy. And we eat all the fried stuff and the desserts, and it's like we're going to die the next day. And surprisingly, we're all still alive. We're all still here, many, many years down the line. So that relationship with food we still have not formed, where I have to respect the food that I eat and what I have to respect my body, what I put into my body. So that is the ultimate goal of this fasting, to cleanse my system so that when I am sat on that prayer mat on the last 10 days, whatever I ask for, I will get. Thank you. My husband's gone.
We need to wrap up
Yeah.
so quickly. So I just wanted to conclude the talk. And I think as Zinat said, if we're fasting ritualistically, yeah, the whole purpose is not just to refrain from food, but everything, lots of other things, right? We're supposed to be more mindful of our actions. And if we do it with presence, understanding what we're doing, we'll get the full benefits. Yeah? And why we feel more spiritual in the month of Ramadan is actually because having little food actually shows you that we don't actually need that much food to survive. And you're at an elevated state of receiving, I think they called it, yeah? Because you're now more present. And then with that breath work is showing you, look, when you're anxious, you're having shallow breath. So you'll have breathing. So there's breathing exercises every morning to do, all those kind of things to make you more grounded and more present in what you're doing. Yeah. So we can see actually the benefits are there if we utilize the fasting in the right way for to our advantage. So let's use this time to be careful and mindful of how we eat, what we do while we're fasting and while we're not fasting. Because while some people fasted even in Rajab and Sha'ban, preparing themselves for 3 months, we now are forced to do it, right? It wasn't obligatory in the last 2 months. Now it's obligatory. We've got no choice. We have to do it. Let's not do it in the way that I pray and just tick the box, but be mindful and present so that we can get the most out of the month. When we get to the last 10 nights, we're ready to receive. And the thing I wanted to just highlight, the reason we started off with that gratitude exercise was that Allah says in the Quran, Surah Ibrahim, I think, yeah? لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are grateful, I will give you more. And I never quite got it as I was growing up. And I don't know if anybody knows Tony Robbins, and he explained it in such a nice way. He said, look, if you go out of a shop and you've got 2 people begging, You give them both the same amount of money, and one says, "Thank you so much." The other guy just takes it, doesn't acknowledge you, or thinks, "Okay, I deserve this because I'm hungry." The other one says, "Thank you so much for giving me this £1." Who are you likely to want to give again to? The guy who was grateful, right? So if we put ourselves in the beggar, we are the beggar to Allah. And if I am grateful for what I have now, not what I want, then Allah is more likely to give to me, yeah? Because I'm going to say thank you. And when you're in a state of gratitude, again, Siddika can tell you for hours about how your body will change when you're in a state of gratitude, yeah? And Allah is there telling you, I am merciful, I am forgiving, always forgiving, continuously. So we think, oh, I'm sinful, I can't ask Allah for anything, I can't approach Allah because I'm so bad. But actually Allah is saying, doesn't matter, come. Yeah? Ya ibadiya alladhina asrafu ala anfusikum. Oh, my servants who have wronged themselves or been excessive to themselves. Yeah? I will forgive you too. So at any moment I can turn to Allah. In an instant. I don't need to prepare. I don't need rituals. I don't need to do something for a long time to have Allah answer me and respond to me. Yeah? So it's just us being mindful that will get us the outcome, not thinking if I'm just going to stay hungry for X many hours, yeah, I'm doing a good job here. Yeah? And the reason, if you notice at the top, that changes the outcome of all true learning is something I love. Not because of time for change is good, but if I've learned today, for example, that lying is bad, I have to change my behavior and not lie. And that's when I've learned the lesson. Yeah? I can say all day long, don't lie, don't lie. And then I go off and start lying myself. I haven't learned anything. So as soon as I implement the learning, I will change. And as soon as I start changing, things will happen. Yeah? And that's all I wanted to share with you all. So thank you for listening so patiently and helping me with some of the content. We have a quiz, but I don't know if we have time for it. Sorry? I've got my experts in the corner somewhere. How long do you think it'll take for the quiz? 10 minutes.
Yeah, ask everyone.
Is everybody okay to continue for another 10 minutes? I don't want to tire you out because obviously you
Then say
have
no.
been fast. It's a quiz. It might be fun, and I didn't create it all. The guys over Jawad and the co helped me out. Yeah? Okay. So just raise your hand if you're in favor of the quiz. We'll have a little bit of democracy. Oh, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. John's got 2 hands up. Everybody else is tired. Maybe we'll give it a miss. We'll give it a miss, I think, because everybody's tired. Okay, if you're tired, you're free to leave. Don't want to keep you, but I think those who want to do the quiz, let's get them excited and do the quiz. So everybody will need your phones, and I'll give you the Kahoot quiz code. Do you have to put it on the computer?
Yeah, we need to connect it to here.
Okay.
Have you got
Yeah,
HDMI?
I have.
On this? Will it work on
Yeah, I've got my cable. Just
Okay.
Volume loud.
Okay, guys, so the game pin is 5797542.
CR7.
By the way, CR7 is not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. Messi is the GOAT.
He's gonna start.
Yeah. Tell everyone to look at the memes there.
No, you can do that. Asia Al-Nabi, Ali Jawad, Ahmad Jibril.
Are we done now? We can't do any more. Should we start?
Right.
Just leave and start.
Okay, guys, we're gonna start in a... No, there's more, there's more. Okay, put your hand up if you haven't joined yet. CR7 is not the GOAT. Okay, put your hand up if you haven't joined yet. Should we wait for you?
Cupcake girls. Pinjosaurus snake.
You have to just step on the side because otherwise the screen gets blocked on the camera.
Okay.
Go that side and I'll be.
So is anyone left? Jawad, is anyone left? Is anyone left?
Okay, put your hand up if you haven't joined yet. Okay. Should we wait for you? Okay, guys, we're gonna start. Basically, in the questions, everyone look at the images.
Who were the people of the cave? Were they youth? Were they dogs? Were they seniors? Or were they toddlers?
Look at the images and GIFs, by the way.
How many ayahs does Surah Al-Kahf have? 109, 110, 111, or 201? Oh god, these guys are like... In first place, we have Rishi Sunak. What did the people in the cave pray for? Freedom and justice, water and shelter, the route to the cave, or mercy and guidance? Rishi Sunak is still in first place. Why did Allah increase their guidance? They had a dog, they believed in him, they supported Arsenal, they recited the Quran. Rishi Sunak is still in first. True or false? Surah Al-Kahf is a Meccan surah. No, you're just waiting. Rishi Sunak is still in first place.
How many young men escaped to the cave?
Is it 5, 21, 3, or 7? Rishi Sunak is still in the lead. What surah number is Surah Al-Qaf? Is it 21, 13, 19, or 18? Huh? Yeah. Who won the Champions League last season? Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool, or Bayern Munich? Rishi Sunak still in the lead. On what day is Surah Al-Kahf recommended to recite? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday? What was the England score last night versus Italy? Wait. Rishi Sunak still in the lead. How many time zones are there in Russia? 11, 13, 5, or 2? The correct answer is 11. Rishi Sunak still in the lead, but JM is third. How many years were they sleeping in the cave for? Is it 300, 308, 400, or 200? It's 300. Oh, Rishi Sunak is off there. If you have one trait, does Allah say He will give you more? Is it charity, honesty, gratitude, or good akhlaq? Zucchini is still at the top. Okay, this question is double points. What was the first African nation to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup? Is it Morocco, Egypt, or Senegal? Be careful of the spelling. Be careful of the spelling. I told you be careful of the spelling. In third place, M&M. Second place, zucchini. Ooh. George. No, George.
Oh, it's run out of battery. We'll have to
Say something about it.
Sorry, my laptop has run out of battery. I'll have to announce the winners when I get home when the battery's charged. My battery's died, so I can't tell you who the winner is. We'll leave it at a cliff edge. No.
Who? You, Rishi Sunak. Okay, well done. Thank you, boys, for the quiz. But next time we need girls to do the quiz because I don't want any more football questions. I didn't know any of the answers. Thank you. If I can have just a couple of minutes just for announcements before Isha Salat, please. Thank you so much, Siddika and Sajjad, for your talk, and thank you to the boys too for making the Kahoot quiz at such short notice. Tomorrow's program, 25th of March, will start with Maghrib Salah, followed by Iftar, and then at 7:45 Quran, Dua Iftitah. And tomorrow's talk is called Digital Fasting, Dealing with Instagram and Other Drugs by Brother Hasnain Jafar, and we'd end with Isha Salah. Just a reminder that tomorrow there's no time for learning program for the children. Also, we're very excited to have a special program on the Sunday, 2nd of April, with Sheikh Jawad Shamali. The topic will be connecting to God in the nights of Qadr. Please note that this event will not be here at AMI, but at Christ Church Center. There is all the details and address is on the poster. I would urge you that if you want to attend, to register as quickly as possible. I put the poster out this morning. We only have 150 places because of the size of the venue, and over 100 places are already gone. So as soon as we reach 150, the registration will close. That event is free of charge, but would be very grateful for donations to help us cover the cost of the event. And any donations towards Time for Change would be greatly appreciated. We're estimating iftar to cost between £400 to £600, depending on the days. The donations can be made by cash, card, PayPal, or bank transfer. And can I request you all to recite a Surah Fatiha for all marhumin, and we'll then pray Isha Salat, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله